Good morning, church. We want to thank you so much for joining us for the last 28 days through our fast and through our walk through the book of Acts. We hope that you've been truly blessed by all the things that God has been revealing to us to share with you. Now today, we're going to go ahead and look at Acts chapter 28, and we're going to see Paul and the other shipwrecked passengers as they find themselves on the island of Malta. Despite their hardships that they faced, God protected them from harm. This serves as a reminder that we should trust God and His protection in all circumstances. Paul heals many on the island of Malta and shares the gospel with them, showing us the importance of being a witness of Christ wherever we go, even in the midst of difficult circumstances. Paul finally arrives in Rome and continues to preach the gospel as Yeshua instructed him to do in Acts 23, despite being under house arrest. This demonstrates the importance of perseverance in ministry, even in the face of opposition and difficulty. We see that not everyone was receptive to Paul's message, but he continued to preach the gospel nonetheless, showing us the importance of being open to God's leading and sharing the gospel with others, even if they may not be receptive at first. Through Acts 28, we see God's sovereign work at hand, orchestrating events for His purposes, reminding us that we can trust God's sovereignty even when things don't make sense to us. Now, these were the Acts of the Apostles and the life-changing message of the gospel of Yeshua, our Messiah. The book of Acts tells the story of how the apostles, empowered by the Holy Spirit, went out into the world to proclaim the good news of salvation through Yeshua. It shows how the gospel message transformed lives, bringing healing, hope, and salvation to all who would believe. The gospel message of love, of God's love for us, and His desire to save us from sin and death. It is not just a message of forgiveness, but of transformation. It is the power of God to change lives and bring us into new relationship with Him. We saw this transformation in the lives of the apostles, who are ordinary men empowered by the Holy Spirit to do extraordinary things. Through their preaching and teaching, many came to faith in Yeshua and were baptized, receiving the Holy Spirit and becoming part of the early church community. And this message is still just as relevant today as it was for them back then. The gospel of Yeshua is the message of hope for a world that is lost and hurting. It is the message of salvation for all who would believe in Him. Our prayer today is from Acts chapter 28, verse 23. It is a prayer that we would testify. And I urge you to take a hold of this message and encourage you to boldly proclaim the gospel of Yeshua, for it is the power of God unto salvation for everyone who will believe. From all of us at HFF, we want to thank you so much for joining us and hope this past 28 days has been a blessing to you. Now, may the Lord bless you and keep you. And I pray that He blesses you in everything that you do. Thank you so much for joining us.